Hey, No Brains, No Headache listeners. You can find every episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Episodes are available to watch on YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment on each episode. Make sure to follow No Brains, No Headache on your favorite social media platform for up to date news, clips, and poorly timed jokes. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
No brains, no headache, that's the way I like it. Turn my worries into jokes, set them on fire while we light it. No brains, no headache.
Welcome to No Brains, No Headache Podcast, episode 283. We're back for yet another mindlessly entertaining recording of this lovely show that my co-host and myself started years ago. We're still here recording to this day by the grace of our lovely listeners out there. So thank you so much for being with us. I'm your host today, Jordan Weichel. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do so. And my co-host, my confidant, longtime friend, fellow comedian, I like to call him Ongo. It's a Matt Cleary. Ongo, how are we doing today?
Good. The hair's finally long enough to do a little bit of a fro with the headband. So,
Yeah, how often do you get haircuts?
once every quarter, about.
Wow, that is huge for your haircut bill. I'm rocking like every 2 to 3 weeks.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if I want to keep it fresh, I got one last Friday. I like a clean cut. I like to look like a pumpkin pie haircutted freak after a couple of weeks. So
Yeah. I've never been a more frequent hair. That's a good question though. Like, how often should you get haircuts? Probably more often than I'm doing it. Is the answer?
Yeah, you get. I feel like you do. You can always tell because you get like a really nice haircut. It's like, oh, Matt, nice haircut, and then it just gets to fro status, and then back to a haircut. It's just the circle of haircuts.
I look good for about 9 business days, and then it's like, wow, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, if I could wear hats all the time and didn't really have to be looking dapper for any particular reason, I probably would just never. Oh, thank you. Get a haircut. Ooh, a Bush Light. That looks yummy.
Yeah, this just shows how much I've cut down on my drinking. The case that you bought me right before Christmas, there's about 10 beers left.
Wow. Back in the early days of No Brains, No Headache, you could barely keep beer in the fridge.
I used to I remember buying like a smorgasbord of stuff, and we would have like little Caymans, like mojitos, and just the grossest crap in there.
And then we did have a diet soda phase there for a while.
Honestly, that was one of the better eras of NBNH I could think of. It was fun because like we would take turns buying like 2 cases each, and it was like, what's the next person's gonna bring?
It was always zero sugar. It was like
Yeah.
Sunkiss, zero sugar.
Oh, so good.
Barks, root beer, zero sugar. Diet Dr. Pepper.
I remember I would ask you, there'd be like 3 different kinds, and I'd be like, what kind do you want? You're like, dealer's choice. But Sunkiss, zero sugar.
Whatever you're feeling, but it better be a fucking Sunkiss. Otherwise, we're gonna have problems.
I was so hungover. So this is classic me. I did a corporate show on Friday, and I got done at like 9, and I gave a couple of the comedians rides home, and then I called my roommate and I was like, hey, you want to go out for a couple casuals? And he's like, well, I'm already at this bar. So I'm like, all right, I'll meet you there. Bar close comes around. I'm just like, got a ride home from someone. And then the next day, I get up to go to breakfast with my family. And then I'm like, we get done with breakfast. I'm like, anyone want to go have a beer? Ended up right back at the same bar. And then I was like, I'll take a high noon, dealer's choice. She kind of just looked at me and I was like, pineapple.
Yeah, the dealer's choice is a dangerous game to play, and you always got to be prepared for any outcome when you do go with dealer's choice. But what do we have for housekeeping for episode 283 this week?
I have this conspiracy theory about chapstick. I think that most chapsticks are meant for like little amounts of relief from chapped lips, and then they actually make your lips more chapped. Because I had like moderately chapped lips, and I found this chapstick in my desk and I used it. And that was like 2 weeks ago, and ever since then my lips hurt real bad.
Yeah, that wasn't chapstick.
It's probably one of those Elmer's glue sticks.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I think you're probably onto something there. I'm not really a big chapstick person. I've had a few, chapped lip days recently, and I always forget chapstick, and I seem to be just fine without it. I think ultimately, what you're gonna wanna do, and I'm not a medical professional by any means, we've established that.
disclaimer.
Um, you're just gonna wanna drink more water.
Yeah. I mean, you're just dehydrated.
So, I'm just throwing that out there. Just maybe some more water and no beers. Like the beers will dehydrate you. So you're like, oh, I had a bunch of water today and 17 beers. It's like, okay, yeah, we aren't making very much progress here with the chap lip scenario.
It's like when I'm really hungover and they're like, there's no way I should be this hungover. It's like all I drank last night was sugary alcoholic drinks. It's like there is a reason that I can't feel my toes.
Yeah, I went out the other night and something we can discuss later in the show, but I was like, oh man, things really got away from me, and I did the only beers thing for my first 2 drinks. That's how long I lasted. I was only beers. So it was like, all right, Jordan, only beers tonight. The 3rd drink, it's like, how about a vodka water splash or cran, please? And then I'll do a few tequila shots for my friends over here.
You're sitting by yourself.
just,
She puts them down, you just slide them in front of you.
yeah, just leave the tray. Instead of leave the bottle, it's leave the tray of shots.
Do you remember we were up in Minot at that bar and the owner was there just so drunk and he was like, I'm going to buy the whole bar fireball shots, and nobody wanted them. So the poor waitress was just walking around trying to give out fireball shots. And I think I must have had like 8 fireball shots because every time she'd come by, I'd be like, thank you. But like, just too much.
That's got to be so, just degrading to the self-esteem and confidence when you're like that's such a cool thing to do that I think everybody probably has secretly on their bucket list of like, I eventually, sometime in my life, I want to buy the entire bar a round of drinks. And then you do, and everyone's like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah, it's like well drinks only, no top shelf. And they're like, well, I don't drink any of that, so
no, but I think you're right with the chapstick thing, similar to my my NyQuil conspiracy theory that NyQuil doesn't actually do anything. It makes you sleepy, I guess, but if anything, it just makes you more sick, so you just keep slugging down the NyQuil.
yeah, I feel like NyQuil and peppermint schnapps do about the same amount of like to your body, except for peppermint schnapps, you might feel a little more drunk.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, a little Weichel family fun fact for you. When us kids were sick, we'd have to go to like our grandparents' house for the day. Just, somebody's got to watch you and everybody's got to go to work or school. My grandmother on the Weichel side, she would pour a large, I guess not a large, but like a little whiskey glass, if you will, a little cocktail glass, like full of like cherry brandy or some shit. And she'd be like, all right, suck it down. And then you would like, this is like straight up feeding alcohol to a child. And you would drink it and she'd be like, all right, go lay down. And then like you'd pass out for like 4 hours. You just wake up in a deep sweat, but something, some way, shape, or form, you'd wake up feeling a hell of a lot better. I don't know how.
It's just old timey medicine. I think that's just like grandpa's old cough medicine. There's a reason they call it that. Yeah.
Yeah. What's with old people and brandy as well? I never understood that.
I don't know. Like the ones my one of my old roommates, he said that he drank a bunch of E&J brandy with his uh future father-in-law, but it was the first time they met.
Okay.
And he said he pooped the bed that night.
Oh my God. Yikes. It's a lasting impact on future in-laws.
Yeah, it's like, well, now you're married, and they all know that it was like the first night that he stayed over at their house and just unloaded in the sheets.
I mean, I guess as the father of the daughter, what would you rather have? Your future son-in-law poop the bed for the first time, or they just plow it out all night?
But it probably did both
at the same time.
Yeah, like, sometimes when you never mind. What else you got?
It was funny the other day. I, been kind of just focusing on myself, focusing on the diet, trying to like make some changes. And the other day I felt guilty for feeling good. Yeah. Like I was just in a really good mood, and something in my fried brain was just like, how dare you? You son of a bitch. Why are you feeling so good? Like I was just, I don't know, I was walking on sunshine. I had good energy. I was happy. And it was just like, watch out, Jordan. You felt good for 2 weeks in a row. Don't fly too close to the sun. And yeah, is that like, do we just have guilt ingrained?
Well, yeah, we grew up Catholic, so that's the only thing that they pretty much pounded into you. It's like, don't do anything bad, or you're gonna have to go tell a priest about it. And then you're also gonna. I've never lied more than going to confession.
Like if you want to just get me into a string of lies, waltz me into a confessional booth and just sit me down, and I'd be like, I've only fully pleasured myself like 3 times since I last came to confession 17 years ago.
Today.
Since I've been in the booth.
I would do it on both sides. Like I wouldn't say the stuff that I actually did, and then I would make up stuff that I would tell him.
Yeah, you would make like, because, and that's like playing right into what we're talking about is like you're at confession, if you will, and you're like trying to list off the things, and then you're like, okay, well that's not like I didn't sin enough, so why don't we make up some more sins? And so you're sitting there just coming up with more and more things to repent about. And it just seems like a vicious cycle. It's really exhausting, but that's all I really had to say. Was the other day I felt really good, and something inside me said that I wasn't allowed to. I think that's called poor mental health, but
yeah, it's called yeah. I'm back to my algorithm. There's this one dude that keeps showing up. I told you about him. He's the one that he's just fat as shit, and he like posts like links where he's like, hey, if you want to buy me gifts, you can do this. And like for his weight loss journey, he needs like an Xbox One. And I just hate this dude. Turns out he was on Diamond Dallas Page's weight loss show before, lost like 100 pounds and then gained like 200.
Ooh, yikes.
And now he's losing again. But I saw the first episode of this show, and the first 15 minutes of the show is him trying to walk up a flight of stairs, getting to the top, and then start crying.
Weight loss is an emotional journey. Okay. So the crying atop the stairs is completely normal. I would probably start crying too if I lost 100 pounds and gained 200.
He's 5'3", like 560 pounds.
Oh my God. I wish I had a BMI calculator in front of me right now.
I somehow think it's more than 100%. And he'll weigh in without his like shirt on. And he's so fat you can't even see his nipples.
Wow, that is obese.
And then he's so fat that he can't stand still, so he has to like balance there for like 2 minutes until the scale actually reads him. And then last week he just gained 14 pounds.
In a week?
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me feel good actually. Like going back to the feeling good thing, that makes me feel good. I'm on a little bit of a cut myself right now. And the other day I told myself, I'm like, dude, you need to eat. You are losing weight at a rapid pace. And so I forced myself to eat not like force myself, but I just consciously was like, okay, we can go hammer down some food and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, so this is my vendetta. I hate this dude.
Because it's a scam.
Yeah, 100%.
Why do you need an Xbox One for your weight loss journey?
To probably eat it. I don't know. He's so huge.
Yeah, no, this is really just driving up my self-esteem. So I'm really enjoying this so far.
And
I
then
really
the worst
appreciate
part
that.
about it is I think he deletes mean comments because I always go to the comments to look. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be hilarious. And all it is like nice stuff. Like, keep going. It's like that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, no, we don't want the good comments. Hey, there's no such thing as bad engagement, you know? So I'll take it any way I can get. Last thing I got for housekeeping, I had a guest by the name of Andy on my interview series last week, so make sure you check it out. And he was nice enough to give me a gift prior to recording, which I thought was like a very kind gesture. And let me just grab it real quick. So he goes by Mortgage Mac. I met him. He's a Chandler, Arizona guy. Really funny dude. Great conversation. So definitely check it out. But he gave me a signed Atlanta Falcons mini helmet, and it's signed by Michael Vick. And I was like, dude, how crazy is that? Because if you're a real loyal listener all the way back to episode 1 of No Brains, No Headache, which I don't recommend anyone go listen to. Do you ever talk to people who say, oh, I started listening to the podcast, and you're like, oh, what episode did you listen to? And they're like, I started at 1. And you're like, why did you do that? Please don't do that. But basically, for those who don't know, maybe our newer listeners, welcome. First of all, happy to have you. But Matt and I recorded our first podcast. I stayed up till like 5 a.m, just drunk, trying to like figure out how to edit it. Couldn't figure. I didn't figure out anything on that particular night. And so at the end, I just went with massive clickbait. I put exclusive interview with Michael Vick, and I just think it's funny that my second guest on my interview series, without knowing that, full circle moment, gave me a signed Michael Vick Atlanta Falcons helmet. So to Andy, or Mortgage Mac, as I call him, his nickname, I just want to say thank you for the present. That was very kind of him. But that's all I have for housekeeping. So let's get into it. Episode 283.
Okay. Let's party.
I'm always looking for new food delivery systems. This one's not new, but I want to kind of reinvent it. It's my play on hot dogs, but instead of cramming in all the gross stuff from a pig, we put good stuff in it. Like a club sandwich hot dog that's just cheese, ham, turkey, and bacon.
It's like kind of making like customized sausage links instead of doing
and you just
like instead of a beef and pork and spice combo, you're just taking all the accoutrement of sandwiches into a sausage casing.
Yeah, and then you grill it up, throw it on a slightly toasted buns, and then you can put all your vegetables on top that you like, or your sauce.
I think you might be onto something here, Matt.
Like, could you imagine biting into what you think is a hot dog, but it's an Italian meatball and the marinara is inside it already?
Yeah, we may have to do some research here if we decide to, go after this endeavor. I feel like this had to have been tried before. Maybe I could be wrong. Yeah, I guess if you keep it cold and or frozen, you can really throw whatever you want in that sucker.
Yeah, just you're chopping up meat and cheese, and then you just like, all right, you want this. You go through, you load it into a bowl, you throw it in a machine, whoop, spits out a hot dog link, slap that on the grill.
Yeah, well, I believe the machine would just be like a sausage mixer, but once again, instead of just doing your mixture of meats, it's just the mixture of ingredients. I feel like there's some ingredients that maybe you couldn't do, like lettuce, for example. Like, do
Yeah,
you
see,
think
like all your like toppings that are gonna be like your vegetables and sauce, with some exceptions, would go outside of the hot dog, like would go on top, like a Chicago style hot dog, for example.
like you know when people like reinvent the wheel, you're just reinventing sandwiches is the vibe I'm getting right now.
Yeah, because I had two brats one time, and one of them was like, so they're like the normal brat mix, but then they had one had bacon and pineapple in it, and then the other one was a chicken brat, but had apple in it, and they're both delicious.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say was I think when you get into the more exotic brat styles, that's pretty much what you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I have yet to see like a chicken bacon ranch hot dog.
yeah. Throw some chicken, throw some bacon, maybe a little seasoning. Then you just
Yeah,
dump some ranch on top of it, down the hatch.
I mean, you could dump ranch on just about anything. I'll put it in my mouth, and I mean that. I truly mean that. Like I will put certain things in my mouth that maybe shouldn't be there if there's ranch on it. Just throwing that out there. That's all I wanted to say. Tube sandwiches
Yeah, I
by
just got a
Matt
text
Berry.
from my buddy Colin that said we should start our own podcast.
Are you gonna hit him with the okay, you buy all the equipment, you produce it, I'll show up once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's just it seems like a lot of work.
It is
Yeah,
a lot of work, Matt. You've already done it.
yeah.
You know how much work it is.
I mean, it's slightly less work now, but once you've done it for 5 years, then it gets a little bit easier.
Yeah, because I mean we're so used to all the processes and just streamlining all the tasks it does take.
I
Because I know what this person's saying, and I don't want to just sit here and shit on Colin is his name, but I have a feeling Colin is just thinking like, oh, I can like people have this want to go in front of a microphone and or camera and just record. Like I don't know if it's like a therapy session or if they just have a lot on their mind, which once again is a therapy session, it sounds like. But I have a feeling he's like, oh, I just want to record for an hour and then Matt, you do the rest.
yeah, it could be that. I just want to do it one time and then you do the rest. I saw this brand that we used to be affiliated with is starting their own podcast today, and I was like, I will shoot myself in the head if it lasts more than 10 episodes.
All right, we're hoping for 11.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, staying on the food subject. Saw this on Facebook the other day, and I made sure to actually save it and make sure it was saved, so I didn't bring up a talking point on the podcast like I've been known to do in the past and not have it saved. But this is the Gilbert Living Facebook page. For those of you who don't know, Gilbert is a city located right next to Chandler, Arizona, where I'm at. Michael says, relatively new to Gilbert/AZ. I have a date on Saturday night. She is vegan, and I am not. Looking for a restaurant recommendation that serves both. And then grossly misspelled several words after that. Said thank you in advance. So, Matt, like you, I decided to scroll the comments, and there's actually quite a few positive comments, but I love the few. Mark commented and said, "Run while you can." Uh, Austin decided to chime in and add, Eating meat in front of a vegan on a first date is rude, in my opinion. But I wish y'all the best of luck. Okay, Austin, are we rooting for or against the relationship? Jeff said, not worth it, bro. Scott said, give it up, bro. These guys are bros, apparently.
So is that like a bro culture thing? Is that like a Chandler, Arizona, Gilbert area? Or Gilbert's northwest, isn't it?
Gilbert is pretty much directly east of Chandler.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Glendive. Or no, Glendale.
Glendale would be on the complete opposite side of the valley. From what I'm hearing, besides State Farm Stadium, it is rather ghetto, for lack of a better word. That's just what I hear.
Glendive is a town in eastern Montana. For all those that are
wondering. Steve said, bro, ask Chat GBT. JJ added the gif of what's that famous female judge, Judge Judy?
Yeah.
She's just putting her hand over her face, shaking her head. Yeah, so Michael, if you're listening out in the Gilbert area, this was 3 days ago. I imagine they did go on their date. Matt, if you were to go on a date with someone, you know, a female agreed to go on a date with you and they decided to inform you that they're vegan, what kind of thoughts are going through your head?
Hopefully I can sneak out the bathroom window before we get our appetizer. I honestly don't know what vegan is. It's like no eggs or milk.
You know what?
Or grains or fun.
Vegan, according to your run-of-the-mill Google search.
According to Chat GBT.
The Chat KGB. The noun version is a person who does not eat any food derived from animals and who typically does not use other animal products. Adjective is eating, using, or containing no food or other products derived from animals. So a lot of lettuce, I imagine. But what if they fertilize the lettuce with manure from another animal?
See, that's
technically that's derived.
Fuck. I'm in a group chat. I'm in a group chat that keeps popping up on my computer, and it's just my sister and one of her friends arguing about a Carhartt sweatshirt. Finally,
I'm actually wearing one right now.
Or it's a Carhartt vest, and they're arguing if it makes them look like lesbians. And I'm like, it's a redundant question. The answer is yes. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, it was like Bismarck People reporting the news, but one of the offshoot pages that I follow, and someone was like, anyone missing a hat found by the McDonald's drive-thru, and it was one of those super cheap fake sailor captain hats that had been run over by 250 cars.
Like, what's the point of salvaging this?
Yeah, I'm sure someone's like, this hat kind of sucks, and just threw it out the window.
Yeah, I had a job once where I was working with a real Boy Scout. In her case, it was a Girl Scout, but I came across this hat that was not one of our products that we sold in the store, and it just was stained and it like reeked of like cigarette smoke. And I was just like, I don't really care about this hat, so I threw it in the garbage where it belonged. Because honestly, if you leave your smelly, dirty hat behind, I think you just don't want it anymore. And towards the end of the night, she's like, who threw this hat in the garbage? It needs to go to Lost and Found. I was like, yeah, guys, come on. Why are we throwing stuff in the garbage that doesn't belong there? This guy's probably looking all over for his shitty Cincinnati Reds, smelly, smoky, smelling hat.
Yeah. Like, does anyone comes back for it? He's like, does anyone see like a Cincinnati Reds hat covered in diarrhea?
Yeah, I really want that back.
Yeah.
Because you know what this person did? They wore a hat into the store, grabbed a hat, put it on and wore that hat out of the store for a free hat.
100%.
So I don't see, if you're a thief, I don't see any reason for us to keep track of your lost and found items. That's where I'm at. But hey, good luck to Michael and his future vegan wife. I wish them the best in the Gilbert area.
Okay, so I watched a wildly entertaining documentary on Netflix. I don't know if it's really worth your time because there's just a couple highlights in it, but it's very, very cool. It's called Greed and Gold: The Hunt for Fenn's Treasure. And it's a true story. A guy named Forrest Fenn lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and he gets a treasure chest and he fills it up with like all types of gold and coins and stuff like that. And he hides it. And the only hints he gives are it's somewhere north of Santa Fe in the Rocky Mountains. So that narrows it down to quite literally 1/4 of the United States. And then he wrote a book that he put a poem in it that had 9 hints in the poem, which was genius.
But I'm sure you had to like decipher the hints.
Yeah. And then, but you had to buy the book as well. So he sold like just a ton of copies, but he had like $3 million worth of stuff in this treasure box. And so the people they interviewed that were like looking for this treasure, plot twist, a guy actually finds it and he sells $1.3 million worth of stuff and then puts other things in a treasure chest and he hides it. And he was the one that produced this documentary. And he said he left clues in the documentary to find the new treasure.
But it's just a bunch of expired McDonald's arch cards.
Yeah, it's that hat that got ran over in Bismarck, North Dakota, and the McDonald's drive-through. A Cincinnati Reds hat covered in diarrhea. But so they interview this family of rednecks. It's a dad and his 2 sons. And I don't think they were really working, but they were like very poor too. And they read the poem. First off, the guy went to the library, asked if they had a copy of the book, and then he proceeded to make a copy of every single page of the book.
Well, that's just smart. That's just resourceful.
And wildly illegal. Even he said that. But they're interviewing him, and the first thing he says is like, I consider myself an intellectual human. I did drop out of high school in the 9th grade, though. And then at one point, he's like, yeah, I ran out of socks, so I was using a Doritos bag. And he literally puts his feet in Doritos bags and then puts them into his shoes.
Wait, because he ran out of socks?
Yeah.
Like clean socks, or just they don't own any socks?
I'm pretty sure it could have been either. I'm pretty sure they don't own any socks. And they were just hammering down Doritos. Then he's like, these work just as good as normal socks.
Just don't wear socks at that point. Just don't wear socks. Why are we putting a goddamn Dorito bag over our smelly feet? And he had to eat at least 2 bags of Doritos for it to make sense.
I'm pretty sure all these guys did were eat Doritos and the dad just ate packs of cigarettes the entire time. But they think they find the treasure in Wyoming. It's just under this massive rock. So they spend a year digging to get under this rock. They don't do it. And the guy's wife comes and says, hey, it's either this treasure or me. So they get divorced. And then this guy proceeds to dig for another year till he gets someone to come with dynamite and blow up the rock, and the treasure's not underneath it.
I'm really glad we recorded today. Everything we've talked about up to this point, it just makes me feel a lot better about myself.
This guy spent 2 years, got divorced, and his son wore Doritos for socks. What else is there? Oh yeah, they go out to where they think the treasure is, and they're like, see that rock that looks identical to a bear statue? And it's just a normal rock.
Just an upright boulder.
That's what it was like. Looks like the snout of the bear's right there. And you're like, no. And then the next guy they interview is a pilot from like Los Angeles, and he's like, well, Forrest Fenn was a pilot back in World War II, so I think we're kind of on the same wavelength, and he thinks he knows where he finds it. So he flies his entire family out to like rural Utah, where they drive for like 5 hours to this longitude latitude location that he thinks it's at. They run into a private property sign, and then he's like, well, guys, we tried, and turns back and gives up the search.
You just gotta be like a special kind of ambitious, I guess, to like be like, oh, this random treasure. You also have to have nothing better going on in your life.
Exactly. Like, these guys just didn't work for 2 years.
Here's a treasure. It's called a 401k. All right. You can just build up your own wealth. It's just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. Do I have one? No, but I'm just saying, if you want your own treasure, you can just make your own. You can just hide your own money in your backyard and dig it up every 5 years.
But also the pilot is he's like probably 50 years old, and he's like, I'm a really aspiring YouTube personality. And it shows a clip from his YouTube where he's like in the outdoors holding a snake, and he's like, look at this snake, and then it just latches on his face, and he's like, ah. And then it cuts, and then it cuts back to him, and he's just bleeding, and he's like, well, that was kind of cool, wasn't it?
This is on Netflix, called Greed and Gold.
Yeah, it's worth the watch. And then there was one lady who was like the longest searcher for it. She was very early on, like before that he went on like Good Morning America, and then it blew up from there. But she was like a very early adapter. And the only like main thing that I got from her search is one time she accidentally sprayed herself in the vagina with bear spray and had to go to the hospital.
Yikes. Right in the gonads, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. But Green and Gold, check it out on Netflix. It is wildly entertaining. I read what happened beforehand just because that's the way I am. I just went on Wikipedia, looked it up. But like the offshoot characters that think they found the treasure make the whole thing worth it. They are far and away belong on the Gilbert People Reporting the News page. They probably use GBD.
Yeah.
Chat CBD.
Chat GPA 4.0, no big deal.
And well, when they're interviewing the dad and his kids, they just talk over each other the whole time.
Just like we did a second ago.
Yeah, but the dad will be like, yeah, so we were like working under, and then the kid will be like, rock, we were under this rock. And then it's bad.
Love it. I love the production value. I know I would be bad at treasure hunting because years ago when I lived in Phoenix the first time, we had NBNH correspondent Denko Andy. He was living in Denver at the time. I was in Phoenix. So there was a couple trips where we would like kind of meet in the middle and go hiking and camping and stuff. And there was one time in particular where I had this spot that we wanted to go to basically on my first drive down to Phoenix. I was so naive to the southern United States that in January, I decided it'd be a good idea to go camping in Utah. And I was underprepared. I froze my ass off all night, ended up just sleeping in the driver's seat of my car. But the following morning, I'm in this campsite, obviously the only person there. There's like little snow drifts and snow piles everywhere. Froze my ass off all night. Pack up, start heading south for the last leg of my journey. And it was BLM land and Bureau of Land Management, to be clear for those out there. And I came across this rancher who was in charge of checking on like the cattle that kind of have free range cattle out in these parts. And that's what he was doing. He kind of stops at my campsite, chats me up for a bit, and he he was surprised. He thought I was just Looney Tunes for camping in January in Utah because I thought it'd be warm, like an absolute moron. But he goes on to tell me about this little, I guess I'll call it like a cowboy shack, where it was just like this small little building or structure, if you will. And he's like, yeah, it's really cool. Like some people, you go in and you stay, and like you can add some canned goods or just leave behind some supplies and stuff. There's like a little cot in there and like a fireplace and just a little place. Back in the day, I'm sure that they just on a cattle drive, or if you're just kind of like stranded, they would just stop in there to spend the night if they knew about it. So I go on to tell Denko Andy about this, and we decided to meet up for a camping trip. And we're like, damn, we should try to find this little cowboy hut or whatever you want to call it. And so we're both on like Google Maps, like the satellite, like we're just like checking out this one square area of BLM land. Cause at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, it's not going to be over there. Like that's private land. Like, why would he tell me about it? And really, I should have just had him show it to me or like give me more details the day of. But my hands and feet were frozen from the night prior. So I had, bigger fish to fry at the time. And we searched for this thing for like one day, not 24 hours, like one day of daylight. So like, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours, give or take. I couldn't find it and just gave up. So I know I'd be terrible at trying to find this treasure. I mean, the clues I had weren't great. I'll tell you that for free. But all we really had was the satellite view on Google Maps. So I think I would be terrible at it. But shout out Denko Andy. Never forget. Lately, I have been realizing that there's been songs out for a really long time. And I had a couple of realizations that I was getting the lyrics wrong this entire time. So the first one, the singer goes, and we turn back time to the good old days, Stressed Out by 21 Pilots, right? The whole time until just this past week, I thought the guy said good dope days, which made me think. I was like, what the fuck does he mean? Like, what's a bad dope day? Is that just when you like die from fentanyl being in your dope? Like,
Yeah, that's that's tough. Like there's
but the way he sings it, it sounds like the good dope days. And I'm like, oh, wow, this guy loves doing drugs. That's awesome.
I thought so. I was a huge Good Charlotte fan. I still am. Um, but I thought this like one of their most famous songs was called The Anthem. And I thought the lyrics was this is the anthem, blow all your heads up.
It's not.
It's this is the anthem, throw all your hands up.
I was today years old when I realized
Yeah.
the correct lyrics of that song, which is tough. So tough break.
Well, our buddy Samson has this joke where he thought like his whole life that blessing in disguise was a blessing in disguise. He thought it was like a Jamaican proverb, like "Don't worry about a thing, man. They got the blessing in disguise." He was
there was a
wrong.
little Irish Jamaican going there.
Yeah, I'm not good at Jamaican. I get very bad.
I'm really good at red dot Indian, I guess would be the way I would describe it. I could rattle off a pretty good impression. Am I going to? No, I think I've already crossed the line with my description just a second ago. Another song by a gentleman by the name of Gary Allen, classic country music artist. I've actually seen him live in concert. Good time. But in the song, he says, nothing on but the radio. And I knew those were the lyrics, so I didn't get the lyrics wrong. But the meaning behind it, I thought that they just like weren't watching TV, so they just had the radio on. It turns out they're naked this whole time. The only thing on is the radio, meaning we don't have any clothes on right now. The only thing we have on is, in fact, the radio, because they're having sexy time. So yeah, I just realized that last week that when Gary Allen says nothing on but the radio, it means that they are in fact nude and not clothed. Because and back again earlier, when I was a child at my grandparents' house, you had the choice. It was either going to be you could listen to the radio or watch TV, but it wasn't going to be both. So I just assumed, like, hey, they want to save on the electric bill and they don't want too much stimulation, so they opted for the radio over the television. And in fact, they were referring to the amount of clothes they are wearing, which was 0.
I just looked up like the most common missed, pronounced, or heard radio or song lyrics, and like towards the top is ABBA "Dancing Queen."
Queen.
Apparently most people think it's "Feel the Beat on the Tangerine"
Instead of Dancing Queen?
instead of "Feel the Beat on the Tambourine."
I'm having a hard time imagining the song in my head. I know the chorus, but other than that, I'm gonna have to look this one up afterwards. I'm sure we have some listeners out there who are just yelling at traffic.
Someone said that the song "We Built This City," we built this city on rock and roll. People
Love
thought
that
it was
song.
"We built this city on sausage rolls," which I could argue is a better lyric.
We built the city on tube sandwiches, a new invention by Matt Cleary.
That'd be the great name for the restaurant. "We built this city on sausage rolls." I mean, a little long, but
yeah, a little wordy, a little much there. That could be like our mission statement. We built this company on sausage rolls.
I actually like this one better than the actual lyric. So Bon Jovi, "It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not."
It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. Oh, living. Okay, go
People
ahead.
think it doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not.
See, and Gary Allen could have argued that. He said, "Hey, no, we got nothing on but the radio right now." And on the radio is Van Halen.
Okay, this next one, if you, I don't know why all of these are kind of related to tube sandwiches, but they are. The line in "My Heart Will Go On" is "I believe that the heart does go on," is sometimes replaced by "I believe that the hot dogs go on."
Okay. Your Google search is just listening to you talk about this. I also didn't plan ahead, and the Arizona sun is just about to blast right in my eyes like a mid-grade porno, but we're here for it.
Why is in Bohemian Rhapsody it's "spare his life from this monstrosity"? People say "saving his life from this warm sausage tea."
Oh.
Selena Gomez, "Don't care." People think that, okay, this is dumb.
Why is everything sausage related here?
Yeah, this one isn't, but it's Coldplay related, so we're one step away from sausages. "Dream of the paradise."
Poker face.
Someone says "dream of pair of dice." It's like if you're getting the word wrong and that word is the name of the song, go ahead and park your running car in your garage and shut the door.
I mean, maybe they're just really addicted to like craps or something.
I mean, that could be.
They just love playing Yahtzee.
All right. I got something. I went down a deep dive of I just heard one thing, and I was listening to "Jack and Diane" by John Mellencamp, one of my all-time favorite songs. But then I was like kind of listening, so it's a song about young love, and I just had some questions about it. In verse 2, it goes, "Sucking on a chili dog outside of Tasty Freeze." Diane sitting on Jackie's lap. He's got his hands between her knees. So I have a couple questions. Is the chili dog his wiener, or are they actually eating chili dogs?
And does he name his wiener Tasty Freeze? Like, is that the name?
I don't know, but like also the last thing I would want to eat before I'm like, I'm totally gonna bang this chick. I'd be like, let me go eat a bunch of chili dogs.
Or if I have somebody sitting on my lap, I'm not consuming any chili in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, do you mind handing over some of that relish in the cup holder?
Why is he sucking on? Why isn't he just eating it?
Yeah, is this a frozen chili dog that he's just slurping down a chili? See, that's what makes me believe it's a wiener. Not the tube sandwich wiener, but the penis wiener. Big wiener episode.
Yeah, we got a theme going here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to run with it.
Oh God, there was what was the other one that I saw that was kind of funny? Oh yeah, Diane's debutante backseat of Jackie's car. Debutante is like the ball that chicks go to like for like their teenage years. So apparently she's just getting her doors blown off in the back of Jackie's car.
What the fuck is a debutante?
It's like a debutante ball. It's where like girls and
Like a baz mitzvah, but not
kind of similar to that. And then, but they're already in Jackie's car. But then he says, "Hey, Diane, let's run off behind a shady tree." If you just had a bunch of chili dogs, I assumed if you're going behind the shady tree, it's for just unreal diarrhea.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Diane, I'm gonna go over by that shady tree. I might be bringing a shovel and toilet paper with me. Don't worry about it, okay? Like, just look the other way. How many different places are these two banging?
I'm just assuming that like there's a tree by the Tasty Freeze when he's like, I'm gonna run and go to the bathroom quick.
There's not a bathroom inside the Tasty Freeze. If you're serving up chili, you should probably provide a bathroom.
Yeah, you should almost have more bathrooms than you do restaurant square footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack and Diane's early relationship, there's nothing good about it. I'm assuming this was in 1982, but Jack has IBS.
He had IBS before it was cool.
And I think Diane might be a little bit of a whore.
But apparently he's a football star. So is he just trying to get his protein intake to keep his energy up?
That could be it. And then dribble off those Bobby Brooks. Let me do what I please.
Oh God, this guy is just wound up.
Yeah, I don't. It all stemmed from I heard sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze, and part of me wants to get that tattooed on my ass.
It's also a big James Dean fan. He's throwing out some James Dean quotes.
It's like you're also in your car. She's sitting on your lap, but then you get out of the car to go behind a tree. If anything, that's a lateral move.
So let it rock, let it roll. Let the Bible Belt come and save my soul. Yeah, I think he's doing impure things with this chili dog. It all stems back to the chili dog. If you need the Bible Belt to come save you, where are you putting this chili dog?
Yeah, and or like, are you like, is that what you're saying as you're just blowing up a toilet?
Hold on to 16 as long as you can. According to my calculations, it lasts 1 year. You get the 1 year, and then I don't know how long you're supposed to hold on to that, but it's usually a year.
The outro is a little ditty, not like P. Diddy, but ditty about Jack and Diane, two American kids doing the best they can. I feel like they can do better than a Tasty Freeze, chili dogs, and getting bent over behind an old shady tree.
I think what Jack needs to do is focus more on the playbook for the football. If he wants to be a football star, maybe hit the weights, maybe get a personal trainer, like be ahead of your time, Jack. And maybe just say goodbye to Diane. If you're only 16, if you're going to be a football star, you're going to have all sorts of talent in your future. So why even worry about it? And clearly I don't think he was. I think Jack is just, a normal guy who's just, thinks with his chili dog, and that's really all he's concerned about. And he just, and he's like telling her to like stay young and stuff. We need to investigate Jack.
Yeah, I want to investigate John Mellencamp because right now I'm thinking the song "Hurt So Good" is about him just getting plugged in the ass. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should.
I think it's just a love ballad, but
I ain't talking no high heels.
okay.
Maybe we could
that's
walk
gay.
around all day long.
We're getting less and less heterosexual as these lyrics go on. Really broke down American music.
That's maybe what I'm gonna start doing is just looking at songs and break. I was trying to break down Jesse Murph, who's gonna be at the state fair this year.
Is that a musician?
Yeah, she has a song called Blue Stripes, and she's like a white chick from Clarksville, Tennessee. And it starts out, boy, I ain't mad, boy, I ain't mad, boy, I ain't mad at you. And then the rest of the song makes it seem like she's pretty upset about the dude.
Do we or do not like dudes?
And then I consider myself like pretty knowledgeable on pop culture stuff, but I have no idea what, yeah, you got me throwing blue stripes, bare tits in the strip club, throwing ones at your bitch. I know you know what's going on means. I'd have no idea.
Okay, let's just back up. You're throwing blue stripes. Those are $100 bills because the modern day ones have the blue stripe. What was the next line?
Bare tits in the strip club.
That's just a general observation of a modern day strip club. Like it's like, oh, there's beer at the bar. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, I don't know. Song's catchy as hell. Am I going to go to the concert? Absolutely not.
All right. Well, let's get past our, lyrical adventure here. What do I have? Oh yeah, I went to the ASU UND hockey game for a little entertainment this past weekend. My alma mater, University of North Dakota, was in town taking on the Arizona State University Sun Devils. So I went and checked out the game. Going into it, I was like, because I was searching for tickets, and the arena that they play, I believe it's called Mullet Arena, which like automatically just has some brownie points with me. Like, fantastic name.
Is it the new one or is it still the old one? I thought they were building like a new one.
It seemed fairly new. It's just, but like when you go to most of your college hockey games during your time in college at the Ralph Engelstad Arena, it's really difficult to
compare.
Like, it's just the best of the best. But going into it, I was like, I'm gonna treat it like the Ralph. I'm just gonna act as if this is a home game. And I pretty much did. I did all the same things that I did when I was back in college, going to the games, pre-gamed a little bit, had a good time, went to a bar beforehand. There was a UND watch party, and it was awesome just seeing all the green and all the Sioux logos and jerseys and stuff. So that was cool. Just a little bit of taste of home for yours truly. And I truly appreciated that. But I did what I did back in the day. I had some pretty
drugs in the bathroom.
No, I don't think I did that. So I'll try that again next time. But I had some pretty nice seats to start. It was classic, like delayed reaction time of goals, because it's just like it's moving so quickly. And you're like middle of a conversation, immediately gets cut off so you can cheer for the goals. I also almost cheered for an ASU goal. I was a bit disoriented. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm only human. But then I found out that I had a friend at the game. They must have seen my Snapchat or something, and they're like, "Oh, I'm at the game. I'm in the suites." And I'm like, okay, get me into the suites. And they're basically like, you're welcome to come to the suites if you can get up here. I was like, okay, no problem. So after the second period, I go up to like, it's the top level of suites. You need to have a specific ticket to get in there, obviously. And I come to the first security guard. And at this point, I'm just classic Jordan. I'm just bullshitting my face off. You know, I'm schmoozing her. I'm throwing all the lines out there, and she's not budging. But if I've learned anything in my time is you don't give up just because somebody, you know, isn't letting you by. You know, you got to keep trying. So I just kept talking to her. Like at this point, we're just having a full on conversation. And at one point, because I had a friend with me, so there's two of us just trying to get into this upper level that we did not have tickets for. I blatantly admitted to her, I was like, I don't have tickets. And she was like, yeah, especially this weekend, since UND travels so well, we're pretty rowdy fans. She's like, I was told that we really need to like crack down on checking tickets and stuff. So I keep going. And at one point later in the conversation, she just looks at me and she's like, just go. Like she was just so tired of talking to me. I was like, okay, level 1 taken care of. So my friend comes out from the suites area. We all kind of meet up. A real ball buster. My other friend was in line for drinks. He was waited in line patiently. He was like second in line. And that's when they're like, oh, no more drink sales. We're like, okay, you've got to be absolutely kidding me. But I'm like, okay, where are we going? Like, let me get a lay of the land. And my friend's like, okay, we got to go over this way. And I look over and I see the security guard, and she is on crutches. She is in her she is in the elderly phase of her life. And she's like trying to make it back to like her little spot, her little stoop she set up on right at the entrance. And she has like an assistant like carrying something for her. I asked my friend if he has any cash on him because I was ready to do the cash bribe if I had to. So I had like $20 ready to rock and roll. And I just start walking into the suites, and she pays little to no attention to us. So I just keep walking past her right through the door. And yeah, I got into the suites. So I was really happy about that.
How long did this take you?
It was just in between period breaks. I know I explained it a bit more thoroughly, but basically we just walked up to the stairs, talked the ear off of security guard number 1. She let us past. I met up with my friend, and then my other friend got cut off from the drink line, not because he was disorderly or anything. It's just they were just done selling drinks. And then so we just walked right into the suites. I let us right in there. And like I'm glad that they like kept going. And one of my friends was like, yeah, I was looking at her, waiting for her to ask us for tickets. I was like, why would you do such a thing? Like, we clearly were past her. Like, just go. I casually met Shane Doan. Do you know who that is?
Like NHL Hall of Famer Shane Doan?
Yeah.
Probably like a top 50 player of all time. Played 19 years with the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah. Apparently his son or something was
plays for game. ASU. I kind of ran into him. Like, I didn't say hi to him, but I saw him. I was like walking side by side with him when we were in Vegas, but it just so happened to be when I went and just blew up the bathroom, and then I came out and I was walking back to the seats. I'm like, I'm not having this conversation. It just peeled off.
Yeah, I was in the suites. There was like an agent in the suite, like really nice people. Like they had no problem with us being in there. So I was really appreciative of that. But Shane Doan comes in. I have no idea who it is. My friend's like, oh, that's Shane Doan. Gave me the credentials like you just did a moment ago. And so I just walk up to him like, and I did the classic, Shane, how have you been? Acting as if like we've met each other in the past. He's like, oh, it's so good to see. Like he went along with it.
Oh, fuck.
So he's like, so good to see you, man. I'm like, yeah, you know, just in town checking out a hockey game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was already in bullshitting mode trying to get past the security. So I just I kept riding with the bullshitting mode, even when I met an ex NHL hockey player, acted as if we were old friends. We're not. That was the first time I ever met him, but had a great time at the hockey game. UND ended up sweeping for the weekend. They're number 4 in the country, so I'm officially back on paying attention to UND hockey. I usually do a pretty terrible job of that, at least for the early part of the season, but I'll be watching them closely go forward. And then later the night, stopped by my apartment real quick, just to regroup, and I got pranked pretty good. The classic prank where you decide to mess with somebody's thermostat. One of my friends turned my thermostat down to 55 degrees.
That's
So
my dad's preferred level of his thermostat. So
yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night just freezing cold. I think I just went back to bed. Then I woke up the following morning still just frozen, and I'm like, okay, like let's like, because my thermostat was usually, it's like off right now. This time of the year, it usually just sticks like around like high 60s, 70. That's right where I like it. So I went to the thermostat just to see what it was telling me, and it was like air conditioning set to 55 degrees. So if anybody's looking for a rather harmless yet effective prank, we talk about pranks a lot on the show. Next time you're at your friend's house or just really anyone's home in general, and you really want to stick it to them, mess with the thermostat. Either turn it drastically up or down. I think either way you'll get the point across, and it will be hilarious. So I got pretty good. Real shot to the self-esteem and pride, but I was a good sport about it. Say congratulations. I will send you my utility bill for next month. You can pay it now.
yeah, well, have fun. Just you got to go over the top when you prank him back. Like, I know you turned my AC down, but I burned your house to the ground. So
Yeah, I took a shit in your sink, so have fun with that.
all right, 284 up next.
I believe so. I believe that would be the next one. Fun fact, I already have my next interview recorded, so there'll be another interview out later this week. We'll see if I can keep scheduling more for that. If not, don't be alarmed. I'll get them up when I can. But yeah, up next we have episode 284. Make sure you follow us on socials, subscribe, check it out, tell your friends about it. We'd appreciate it as we continue to have fun and keep growing. The No Brains, No Headache community is stronger than ever. So thank you to all of you for listening, and that's our show for today.